Welcome to the Deathmatch Hour.
Not sure what's going on, if we can get this going. Sorry, it's usually, for some reason, I'm always the troublemaker in the group. Go figure.
All right.
Let's-
They say we're good.
Okay, we're good. All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to reintroduce him. If you guys don't already know, this is Orin Veidt. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing okay. Doing okay.
Awesome, awesome. Fresh back from Japan, right?
Yeah, freshish.
Fresh-ish. Yeah, yeah. Didn't expect to come back to all this chaos, huh?
No,
That's
no.
crazy. So, I normally start the show off with, I don't know if you've watched our show before, but when I'm hosting, by the way, I'm your host, Crystal. I do a Would You Rather, and it's kind of a deathmatch version. Are
Okay.
you up for playing a little game of Would You Rather?
Sure, sure.
Awesome, awesome. It's fairly simple, and I'm sure you're aware of what Would You Rather is. But what I do is I'll ask you specific weapons, deathmatch stuff, and you just kind of choose whichever one you think you would rather either give or receive, whatever.
Okay.
Half the stuff I'm sure you're familiar with.
Right.
So, we are gonna start with. I'm not sure if you've used these guys before, but scorpions, which is kind of cool to me. I think that's really interesting. Or toothpick cactuses, which I think
Oh,
are cool too.
scorpions for sure.
Scorpions? Are you afraid
Yeah.
of scorpions? Or
Mm,
they?
I'm less afraid of scorpions than I am of getting toothpicks under my skin.
Yeah, toothpicks suck.
Yeah.
They really, really suck. Did you know that scorpions are in the spider family?
No. This
Yeah.
is news to me.
Yes, now you know they're actually arachnids. So interesting news there. All right. Let's see. What about a tables on fire or pits of coal?
Ooh. Probably a table on fire.
Yeah. Have you ever
Probably.
worked with fire before?
Nope.
No.
No, I've been ringside for fire in
Yeah.
Mexico, but that's it. I've never done fire.
Really. They seem to
Yeah,
love fire over there.
they do. Yeah, it was every single night.
Every single night.
Yep.
Okay. So what about gussets or razor wire?
Oh, gussets.
Gus-
I do gussets in almost every match.
Yeah, I love gussets. I'm a weirdo. Gussets and skewers are like my two favorite
Yep.
things. It's
Gussets are an easy go-to.
yeah, yeah. I think I like it because you see like all the blood ooze out after it comes out, and I'm just
Yeah.
like that, you know. Okay. Last one. Dry ice or tattoo needles?
Uh, tattoo needles.
Tattoo needles?
I've done both. Yeah, tattoo needles
Oh,
are.
you've done dry ice before?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. How was that?
It sucks. It just burns a little bit,
Yeah,
but
you're not supposed to touch it.
no.
Yeah, or put it down people's pants or whatever.
Which seems to be the go-to.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Marcus and oh my gosh, who was it? I don't
Probably
remember.
dysfunction.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It was. Yeah, that was my first time ever seeing that before. So, let's see. Um, we're having issues with getting comments up, so we're just gonna go with it, and
Okay.
I'll ask you some questions and go from there. So currently you're holding, what kind of titles are you holding?
I have the Time Bomb Pro Championship out of Fargo, North Dakota, and then I have the ICW Alternative title, which I've had for quite a while now.
A while, a couple of years, right?
Yep. Almost like a year and a half, besides 1 month in that period.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Very,
I've been going pretty strong with that.
yeah, yeah. ICW is where it's at. I
It is.
uh, love them. Yeah, you were in there in Saint Eight, correct? Twice?
Yep. Back-to-back winner of the Insane Eights.
Yeah.
The last two. Um, the most recent one was against. Oh yeah, there's
Hey,
a good shot
yeah,
from the finals.
yeah.
Yeah, the most recent one was against Alex Colon, Nick Gage, and then Matt Tremont in the finals, which was surreal.
Oh man, I bet you were like, wow,
Well,
like
just
that's a
just
huge.
facing any one of those guys in the singles match in any one night is a good night, and then
Yeah.
to get all three of them in one night and to have a finals with one of the most decorated uh, deathmatch tournament guys in all of deathmatch tournament history in Tremont, and to stand across the ring from him in that finals was absolutely unreal.
Oh yeah, yeah. I bet. I bet, and you're
It was.
killing it. You are killing it. Every time I see you, it's just I'm blown away. Like I
It's
remember.
been a wild 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I remember the first time I saw you at IWA, and Kat was like, "Y'all don't even know," and I'm like, "Well, when Kat says y'all don't even know, y'all don't even know." So I was just from then, boom, a fan, total fan. Um, let's see. Let's see. You were in a Pentagon and Light Tube match with JC Rotten at Guardians of Hardcore
Yes,
2018. How was that match? I was
that
there.
was
I thought it was awesome. Crazy.
that was my first like bigger show.
Yeah.
That was my first real match with Glass.
Couldn't tell.
And it was really cool. Um, John Calvin and I went out there. We were the definitely the least respected match on the card, I think. On a card full of people that can go.
Oh yeah.
It was the best of the best of guys, and John Calvin and I were definitely the ones that people weren't expecting to go out there and deliver, and I think we did.
Oh
I
yeah.
think we really went out there and delivered. It's one of like my favorite matches from earlier on in my career,
Yeah.
and definitely helped spark a lot for me.
Awesome. Yeah, it was definitely a good match. I was there. I loved every moment. That was a great show. You can never go wrong
Yeah, it was.
with IWA death matches, in my opinion. Um.
No, there should be more of them.
Oh, I agree. I'm sure they're working on it. Maybe sometime you could come down to AWR here in Indianapolis once everything starts running
Yeah,
again.
right. Once wrestling starts again.
Right? It's killing me. I'm having withdrawals. I got to go to Bizarro Lucha Sunday, and I was just thinking to myself, wow, this is probably the last
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to go to for quite a while because they're
Mhm.
shutting everything down. It's crazy. Backyard stuff's gonna start back up, I think.
At this point,
Shh, don't tell anybody. Um, so tell us about how GCW went in Japan. You were there for 3 nights, correct?
yep. Well, three nights for GCW and then one night for Freedoms.
Oh yeah,
Um, it was awesome. It was everything that I hoped it would be. It was wrestling in the main event the first night with Takeda.
yeah,
Obviously things didn't go the best. Um,
yeah, yeah. That was
but
insane. I remember I was at work and then I'm like, "What the heck happened?" And whoo, boy, yeah. But
um,
he's okay now, so
yeah, he's definitely recovering, and I felt bad, but it's kind of the nature of what we do.
sure.
The I got to wrestle guys that I never thought in a million years I'd ever be able to wrestle. Guys like Ryuji Ito, and
Yeah.
obviously Takeda, and just being around the culture, being around all those people with guys that I consider my family, was really cool.
Mhm.
And it was everything that I hoped it would be. The fans were absolutely incredible, truly the best fans in the world. American Deathmatch fans are just as amazing, but man, those Japanese fans, they are a whole other level of committed.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you could tell. I mean, just that they love it so much. Definitely. And you got to share the ring with Schlack as well, right?
Yep, Slack was my tag partner a couple nights.
Yeah, yeah, and Jimmy Lloyd as well.
Yep,
Yeah, nice, nice. How long were you there? So you were
uh,
there for 4 shows.
yep. It was I think 10 or 11 days.
That's awesome. So you got
Yeah.
to do some touring and
Yep. Yeah,
Cool.
I spent all day or all one of the days in the anime district and
I saw
got
that.
lost yeah, got lost there and just kept frustrating Alex Clone with my desire to go look at that stuff as opposed to wrestling stuff. Uh but yeah, we got to go see a bunch of cool stuff. We got to go to a bunch of cool wrestling stores. Got to go kind of do traditional Japanese stuff, see a bunch of cool sights, and it was really awesome.
Awesome, awesome. How was the food? You're a
Oh,
vegetarian.
it was yes. I'm pescatarian technically.
I am basically.
Yeah, vegetarian is just the easiest way to say it.
Right.
Um,
People are like, "What?" When I say that too, they're like, "What? Is that a
they're
real
like
thing?" I'm like,
yeah.
"No."
So it was great. KG I think is a vegan, and or maybe he might be on the same level as me. I don't know where he's at. He might also be a pescatarian, but he and I kind of were able to eat a lot of the same stuff. And
So,
you go to 7-Eleven for $6 American and you eat like a king.
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's truly a whole different world. I did not want to come home.
Oh, I bet. I bet. I've heard that a lot. I've heard that a lot. So, speaking of the pescatarian thing, how is that like on the road? Eating eating pescatarian on the road.
It's
Besides
great.
being able to bring your own snacks, clearly, but
Um, it in today's world, so much stuff is now more catered to like a vegan diet.
yeah,
So finding things that work kind of throughout is super easy.
yeah,
Which is super nice. Like
yeah,
with all the Beyond products that are out there, the Impossible meat. There's so much in terms of options and choice.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm surprised that the Beyond brand is it's kind of taken over than the Impossible brand. So you could go to Wendy's or even Dunkin' Donuts. They have
Yep.
their
Yeah.
Beyond
I
is
eat it all the time.
yeah, well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
My sister's a vegetarian, so like I always try all that stuff first, just for her. Kind of picky when it comes to flavors. So, and plus, it's good stuff. So I think they're trying to get some comments up. Trying to.
I
Oh.
saw it like attempting. It keeps like popping up.
So in this picture, let's discuss this because I've noticed over the past since I've met you, you have a thing with otters.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that
they're the most adorable little creature in
right?
all of Earth.
They're right up there with like hedgehogs. Oh
Yes.
my god,
Oh,
hogs
they're
in their
so sweet.
yeah, yeah. Is it just
We went to an otter like unintentionally, completely unintentionally. We went to like this it was like an owl cafe, and in the owl cafe they just like they let you into this habitat with all these owls that were
oh
just free
my
flying, which was
god.
terrifying, but at
Oh
the same time was super cool.
yeah, because they have a pretty big wingspan.
Yeah, oh yeah, and there
Yeah,
was tons. And so like you
that's
knew that like you were at their mercy.
yeah. They
Uh
are
but
not pescatarians.
no. At the same time they had these like they had otters that you could go and feed and interact with, and so you sit there and shake their little hands and you get to play with them and stuff, and I sat there for a good 45 minutes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anytime anything with animals is involved, I'm totally there.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and I'm the one that's like, no, no, we gotta wait just a little bit longer. I gotta pet them some more. I get so excited over any kind of creatures, except for frogs. I don't like frogs.
Oh,
They're gross.
I terrified of frogs.
They're evil. Tell me
Yep.
they're not evil. I swear. I have some that hang out around my house, and they'll sit in front of my garage knowing I'm coming home, and then they'll hang out around my door.
Yeah,
And
they're the worst.
oh no,
And then you don't want to go inside.
no, yeah, we had one time come in the house. It snuck in the garage. I tried to get my son to get it out of the house, and he said he did. He lied. 3 days later, I hear, "Oh my god!" It was all the way through the house in his bedroom, and everybody
Oh boy.
they were because they knew I would freak out, and they carried him outside. And I'm thinking, he had to go past my bed, get
Yep.
into the house, and I was freaking
Yep.
out. I'm glad. I'll be glad when we move here because we have a pond right behind us, and that's where they hang
Yep.
out.
That'll do it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So let's see. In November of 2018, I saw you at ICW, and you had a match with Patrick's.
Mhm.
And you got to use the first light tube fan, which
Yeah, in
I
America,
thought
yeah.
was beautiful. I know there's some pictures of that, Michael, if you want to pull that up. It was amazing. I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. How did like did you know how you were gonna use it when you first saw it? Were you like, what is that? Or how did
No, they gave me the heads up that they wanted to do it and they wanted to try to like beat everybody and be the first ones to do it in America. And I was like, okay, sure, I'm all for it. And then talked to Dale, and Dale was all about it, and uh, it was super cool. Uh, and now it's kind of become a staple in like the bigger matches in ICW. Um, and so that's been super cool. I just did it recently with in January with Damon Spriggle before I went to Japan.
yeah.
It was kind of a bummer. I was really excited to finally have a rematch with Dale uh, at this upcoming ICW show that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I took the day off and I was gonna drive down there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
I was keeping my fingers crossed.
I was supposed to have a really fun weekend. I was supposed to do Time Bomb in Fargo on Friday, and then Time Bomb in Canada on Saturday, and then come back down to Milwaukee on Sunday.
That's awesome.
I was
That's
really excited.
oh yeah, yeah. How far is Canada from that?
From where I live, it's about 7 hours.
Okay, that's not.
So not terrible.
Yeah, it's decent for a nice little drive, especially to go to Canada. Have you wrestled up in Canada before?
Yeah, the first like year of my career, I did a bunch of tours in Canada with a company called CWE. They run even longer tours now. Back when I was doing it, they'd only do like maybe 10 or 11 shows. Now they're doing like full month long, like 30 show tours.
Wow,
Yeah, they're
that's
they're 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 great for young people that really want to learn and get experience. It's awesome for that.
that's cool. So, would they just have like just a roster of guys and they
Oh
travel
yeah, yep.
throughout? Because Canada's ginormous.
Oh yeah, every town you're going to, it's like a 5 hour drive. So
Uh,
it was the coolest learning experience, but like the worst at the same time, because it was a big disaster. The ring was always late, and you know,
wrestling.
yep, as it is.
Yes.
But I got to wrestle a lot of cool names. Like I got to wrestle Frankie Kazarian there, and I got to wrestle guys like Silas a bunch of times. Um, Johnny Devine, I got to wrestle Johnny Devine in Calgary. That was really cool for me, who got to watch him as a kid on TV.
Oh.
Jason Kincaid a few times, who's a guy that I really admire. Super creative.
Yes, he is. You're right. That hits the nail on the head. Super creative. That is.
Yeah.
He's amazing
So
in the ring too. He's very
yeah,
versatile. A lot like you. Very versatile.
yeah, he can do everything. He was super cool just to like learn from, because he had been in the business a really long time when I had met him. So that it was super cool to kind of do those, but that time for me is done.
You're like done.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Let's see. And you wrestled not only with IWA, H2O as well.
Yeah, I've done a few shows for Matt. Every time I do them, I love it. It's the fans are awesome. The
Yeah.
venue's so cool. The most recent one was Deathmatch Extravaganza 2. The first Deathmatch Extravaganza was what got me into GCW, a match I had with Jimmy Lloyd, which is available on YouTube. If you look up like H2O's YouTube, it's available for free on there. That match was crazy and nuts, and that got me into GCW. And yeah, it's every time I go out there for Matt, it's great. I love H2O. It's really truly homegrown. It's a lot like GCW with no backers, nothing. It's
Yeah.
it's all on him. That is literally his you know his baby,
Yeah.
and I love doing stuff for Matt because he's such a good guy.
That's what
And
I've heard. Like that.
yeah, he truly cares about us as workers too. So it's always a good time when you can do business with somebody that's like that.
Absolutely, somebody that you know truly cares, and I swear he seems like the kind of guy that would just give you the shirt off of his
Yeah,
back if you needed it.
he
You know,
is. He
he
is.
I
He's
heard
the most
nothing but
down.
him.
Yep, the most down to earth, coolest guy. Seriously, just a good human being.
That's awesome. Let's see. We usually have questions popping up, but since we're having
I
difficulties,
keep seeing it like it wants to pop up.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's just having a night. Maybe it's a virus. Who knows?
Yeah, no kidding.
So, and you've been in wrestling for a few years, right?
Almost almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years. What got you started in the wrestling business, and then second part of that, from there, how did you transition into deathmatch wrestling? What made you decide to get into that?
Well, I always wanted to be a deathmatch wrestler from like the time I was a little kid and saw
Really?
Sabu Terry Funk Born to be Wired. That was the ticket.
Yeah.
The generic wrestling answer for anybody that does this stuff, but that was the case. Um, I I ended up finding a training school here in Minnesota just by sheer luck and chance,
Wow.
and trained here in Minnesota. And the best part was my trainer told me, "Don't ever do death matches. That's not what I'm training you to do. You're better than that. Don't be that guy."
What a rule
And
breaker you are.
yeah, well, and now we joke about it whenever we're on shows together, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, it worked out real bad for me doing that shitty death match stuff, huh?"
Yeah.
And he gets a kick out of it now, and he's like, "Okay, well, I guess it's acceptable now."
Yeah. Well, sometimes
Um,
you just gotta find your niche, and if deathmatch wrestling is your niche, then go for it.
mhm.
You never know
And
till you try.
and in terms of like being able to get into doing death matches, that was just a matter of knowing the right people and being available for the right opportunities.
Yeah.
It was obviously IWA. Um, it I remember somebody had canceled off on some show. It was the King's Ransom show when Ricky and Dale worked. It was a long, long time ago. Really, so it feels like forever ago. Uh, and Cody Rice and I were both available, and we left Minnesota that night and got to IWA that Saturday and did the show and kind of kept coming back and making the drives because we were hungry. And
Yeah.
then the opportunity arose to do Prince, and then after that, that was kind of where it all started.
Nice. I might as well get your feet wet in the IWA arena.
Yeah, I mean it was the best place to do it.
Yeah, you and Cody have a really good chemistry. You guys are really good friends, huh?
Oh yeah, we Cody. The best part was that's how Cody and I bonded because I always thought Cody was a garbage wrestler, but I didn't ever give him a chance. I never actually watched his wrestling.
Yeah.
So I just had a preconceived idea of what type of wrestler I thought he was, and then I
Yeah.
watched him do a death match, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's pretty good. And
Yeah.
so I went up to him and I told him, I'm like, hey man, I just want to let you know that I appreciate what you did out there. He goes, oh thanks. Do you hate me? I was like, and I was like, okay. To be fair, I may have said some bad things about you, and I'm gonna own that, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
And then from there on, we became really good friends in the business, and Cody's helped me tremendously. Cody's been in this way longer than I have, and he helped me get my foot in the door a lot of places.
Yeah. Cody's awesome.
Yeah,
He's
he's a really good dude.
yeah. I really like Cody. Um. Let's see. What are some of your idols?
Ugh. Obviously Nick Mondo. That's a very easy one. Um, I don't know. I look up to a lot of the guys that I'm peers with now, just because I've been doing this a lot less time than they have,
Yeah.
and they are the guys that are doing it at the best level. You look at guys like G Raver and Alex and Eric Ryan, and they're all on a totally different level. They completely change the way that death matches are looked at, and of course, guys like Schlack and everybody else in the conversation that I'm missing. Um, and then you look over to Japan, and you've got guys like Ryuji Ito, and you've got the Kasais, and you have the Takedas, and there's so many dudes to look up to, like Miyamoto. Getting to wrestle him was super cool because that guy is so good, and there's so many people to look up to in deathmatch wrestling, and it's really cool to have guys that are around that have been doing this so long that I get to learn firsthand from.
Hmm.
And when I get done having these matches, I get to go and then talk to them. And instead of like, oh man, I wish that they were here and I could get their advice, but no, they're right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure they always have rave reviews on you too. And
Everybody but Alex. Alex likes to constantly give me shit. He is my biggest critic.
yeah. Hey, if people always shine you on though, sometimes you get a big head. So
Oh,
giving
it's
you
the
shit.
it's the best learning
Yeah,
because
exactly.
because because he will tell me everything I did bad, which then means I have stuff to work on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He will never tell me I did a good job. That's the best part.
Maybe someday it's a goal to strive
Yeah, one
for.
one of these days I'll get his approval.
Yeah, maybe. What are your thoughts on Zona?
Oh, I think it's great. Um, I I
Wrestled there.
would love to be out. I have not been there yet. I would
They're
love to
really
be out
trying
there.
to get you out there.
I've been trying. It's so expensive to get there from Minnesota though.
Oh
That's
yeah.
oh yeah, Minnesota is apparently the worst place to fly from. Yeah, so expensive.
Uh,
No, there's a lot of cool. They're doing a lot of cool things. We were gonna do, and hopefully still will, do like a Zona 23 inspired show for Time Bomb at the end of May with Arrow Boy and I.
oh my
Uh,
god. Oh, that makes me
Because
so. I love Arrow Boy.
Arrow Boy, he is the best. When I was down for the GCW slash like DTU tour last year, I got to spend a lot of time with him and learn from him, and that was awesome. Got to share the ring with him, and he's super underrated. He's
I agree.
so good.
I agree. Have you ever
Um,
been to a Galley Lucha show?
no, I have
Uh,
not. There's a bunch of people from Minnesota that go.
yeah, yeah. You should go sometime. Check it out. You know.
I keep meaning to, but a lot of the times those shows fall on the same day as ICW.
Yeah, yeah. It's a Sunday show.
Yep.
I'm always torn because I work on Sundays and
Mhm.
I usually take my Sundays off, kind of like the next Sunday, and I can't go because everything's closed down. But yeah, it's hard to pick between, and you're always booked anyway, I'm sure, for ICW.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I've missed all of one show since I've been with ICW.
Wow, that's dedication. How is it working for this?
Oh, it's great. We're the two most completely opposite people in every way. But that's another dude that's done a lot for me. He saw something in me when a lot of people didn't, or a lot of people just hadn't seen me yet, and he's truly given me a platform to put on some of the best matches of my career and in front of the my favorite fans in the whole world.
Oh yeah, that
All
crowd. Oh my gosh, they're
yeah,
crazy.
all those fans are so amazing, and the chills that I got in the Insane Eight, when Matt and I could just stand there. We stood there for what felt like an eternity, and the crowd was so loud. Like Eric Ryan said something about it on commentary. He says like if you guys could hear how truly loud it is. Um, there's a lot of shows where I end up with goosebumps because of that crowd. Uh, they are the absolute coolest, most dedicated fans to me, and I do my best to give them everything I have, every single show, and try to never ever undercut them because I know that they would give anything for me. So
Absolutely.
I love ICW. It is truly my home and has been for the last like 2 years now.
Nice. And I know they appreciate it. I've been to a couple shows and man, it blows me away. And I love the atmosphere there. The first time I showed up, I was like, what is this
Yep,
place? What?
that's how I
Is
felt.
this really where we're going? And when I got back there, I was like, oh my gosh, sitting close to everybody. It's such tight quarters, but you don't stay in your seats very long at all.
No,
And I love
no,
the fact that they're right there. And I've had got some pretty cool videos of your performances and other people, and I'm like right there. And I love that. I hate barricades so much
yeah.
for several reasons.
The best part is how stressed this is the entire show. Whenever like my matches are going on, because he knows that there's a good chance I'm going to do something on the outside that I'm not supposed to do, and we're going to hurt a fan. and then I get to the back and get yelled at every time.
Well, the fans need to move.
They
I
know the deal.
They know the deal. I was at a show before. I was at Unsanctioned Pro, and Casanova, he got thrown out of the ring, I believe, or got tossed or something, and went. He was coming right at some people and hit his head on a chair, on the chair leg, and I was thinking to myself the whole time because the dude just sat there, and I was like, man, if you would just move. And then, of course, later,
Yeah,
as I'm leaving the show, he's outside holding his head together because not together, but holding his head because he busted his head open on this dude's chair. And I just feel like why can't people just move? It's not only for
they never
their
do.
safety, it's for your guys's too.
Right.
So I know they never move. I've contemplated moving sometimes, and I'm like, no, yes, okay, yes, move.
Yep.
You got to get out of the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. Do you have a dream match? Like, if you could
Oh,
anybody anywhere, who would it be?
that's a good one. Um, you know, at this point, I've literally had matches with anybody that I would have like that I
Yeah.
would have said that. Like
When I thought of that
I've
question, I
been
did the same thing.
yeah, I've been lucky enough to like have all those matches. Um, I like non-death match. It would definitely be Zack Sabre Jr. That is like numero uno.
Yeah.
But in death match, I don't know. I still haven't had a match with Kasai. That would be super cool. Obviously, I want that rematch with Takeda.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe a singles match with Ito. That's that's definitely up there. It's tough. It's tough, especially when I've had a lot of like I've got to wrestle guys that I watched as a
Yeah.
kid. I've got to have so many
That,
matches that I never thought I'd ever have. So
yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. I guess that would lead me to ask, what was I gonna ask? My favorite opponent so far. I mean, I know you mentioned a few.
favorite opponent is it's either G Raver or Eric Ryan.
Nice.
Um, Eric is an absolute fucking madman,
Oh my God, yes.
and when you're in there with him, you better be fucking able to go because he doesn't fucking stop.
No, he doesn't. It's crazy.
No, nope. There's no stop with him, and I love it. It made me fucking know that I had to step my game up.
Yeah, yeah,
So Eric was fucking awesome, but the chemistry I had with G Raver in the one match that we had together, and then the match that we were a tag team in was great. Uh, G Raver is the absolute man. He can complement anybody's style. Um,
I
yeah,
agree.
G Raver is probably number one. If I had to pick, like gun to my head, I'd
Yeah.
pick G Raver.
Wow, wow. Yeah, he is awesome. I have been a fan of his since the very beginning too. Like ever since I saw him, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's awesome. Awesome. Uh, let's see. I really wish that we had some comments. I'm sure they're flowing in.
Right.
Feel free to like check them out later. I did get one that from one of the things we posted earlier from Ryan Look. He wanted to know your thoughts and opinions of Bloodfest and the infamous single light tube cardboard death match. You have to fill me in on this one. I'm not familiar.
that that show was what it was. Um, for what the for what it should have been and could have been, it definitely was not. I think there was a lot of reliance on fans to bring the weapons, and not enough of them supplying the weapons.
Oh,
They
that's tough.
they they put a lot of money into it in terms of talent, which is great, but then I think just maybe overpriced a little bit on tickets and didn't do enough advertising in the ways that they probably should have. I I don't have a lot bad to say about it because I think Brandon and I had an amazing match for what we had, and I think Brandon and I had truly a good match in that finals. To be fair, that cardboard box did have gusset plates on it, and it was what it was. I think we definitely made chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was.
Not heard that term. I love it.
I it was what it was,
Yeah,
and I still enjoyed it for the fans that were there. We um still put on the best show we could have,
gotcha, gotcha. I don't
but
know if you.
it's definitely infamous.
Oh, can I find this somewhere? Can I
Yeah,
just look it up? Oh, I'm looking it up. I know what I'm gonna watch later.
yeah. I'm sure it's on this in this group.
Oh, probably.
I know it has been brought up many a time.
I'm not always in the loop because I still consider myself new to the deathmatch world. It's only been a few years, so you know. I don't know if you could see Mike sending.
I can. Yep.
Okay, free to like
Um.
those.
Yeah. So if there is there someone you would refuse to work with? Um.
It's a good question.
It is. Yeah. I think anybody that has any type of like known blood diseases, or
Players.
anybody that was any type of potential health risk, for sure. And there's a lot of dudes with kind of a bad stigma to them that I don't have the time of day for. It's
Yeah,
just not worth risking my body.
absolutely.
uh
You have to be safe.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that when you get to a certain point in your career and you've done enough stuff, not saying that I have because I'm still only 2 years into this, but you know what you should and shouldn't do and who
Absolutely,
you should and shouldn't work with.
absolutely, absolutely.
Biggest influence definitely is Nick Mondo, um, for sure. That's I mean, if he's also from Minnesota, he wrestled a lot of the dudes that I wrestle around here and that are kind of like the local legends around this area. So that's definitely the biggest influence if I had to for sure pick one. Um, Thoughts on Sakuda? I think Sakuda is great. Um, I think Sakuda is super creative, and he's somebody that I really enjoyed working when we did slime language in LA. And he's a dude that's young just like me, and he's super hungry to be the best that he can in death matches, and I'm a big fan.
Awesome.
Would I work with Sexy Eddie? I don't know why not. I don't know if he has any bloodborne stuff, but I don't think he does. No, I of course I would. I know Cody Rice definitely would.
Oh my god, that would be a great match.
I know he was supposed to team with I don't know if that ever got announced.
I'm not sure.
But
For some reason, I feel like I saw that somewhere, and I was like, "Oh God, that's gonna be something else."
yeah.
What are your thoughts on Trainwreck, Southern Sickness?
I'm glad that they had their tournament. I'm glad that it went the way it did. It was unfortunate that I couldn't make it. I I like John Calvin. I'm a big fan of John Calvin. He's always been amazing to me. And I have really nothing bad to say about John Calvin.
Yeah,
He's incredible. Always has been to me. Um, but unfortunately, I couldn't make it, and I felt bad about not being able to make it, but it was what it was.
yeah.
And
Stuff happens, life happens, and
yeah,
you know,
and I
booking
hope
it is what it is.
yeah, I hope that this year is because it sounds like they want to do it again.
Yeah,
Um, so I hope it's more successful this year, and I hope they continue to do what they continue to do what they're doing. Yes, Neil, I would gladly have your baby.
I was gonna ask that. I was joking with him last night. I told him that was what I was gonna ask you. But I just thought about that when these questions were popping up. He's something else, Neil Cutter. You've worked with him before, right?
No,
No.
but
Oh my God, this needs to.
we're supposed to work at some point here in ICW. I sat there and watched them the deathmatch challenge that they just did, and it was insane to watch him get the shit beat out of him.
Oh my God, he could take shit.
He's unreal.
Yeah, yeah. I had an interview with him just recently, and it was definitely fun. He's quite the guy. Um,
That cut sucked. That cut was awful. Um, that was Deathmatch Extravaganza, and the first one with Jimmy, if I'm seeing right, yeah, and it was the first spot of the match, but it had kind of clotted over, so I just didn't fuck with it,
yeah,
and probably should have got it stitched up, but didn't, and now I have that giant, disgusting scar on my shoulder from it.
that's
So
the mantra of most wrestlers. I should have had it stitched up, but didn't.
yeah, no shit.
It's usually duct tape or glue.
I don't even glue it anymore. I've given up on that.
Yeah,
I just
glue,
let
glue
it go,
takes patience. Glue takes patience, and that's
and
usually when you
I
guys.
don't have that.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I've glued some people together, and they're usually like, "How long is it gonna take?" It's like you need to sit there just for a minute, stop bleeding, so it can finish clotting.
Yep. The three matches I would recommend of myself to a new watcher. G
Ooh.
Raver, the match with G Raver at 400 degrees. The match with Eric Ryan at the last one's left, and the third one is a little tougher, but those for sure. I'd say maybe the the first round match of this last year's Insane Eight with Alex Clone. I think that was
Ooh.
up there. That one was really good.
Nice, nice.
I'm sure there's a really obvious one that I'm missing, but that that's bound to happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you have such a laundry list of
At
matches. They're
at
all
this point,
so good, so good.
I've felt good about it. I mean, I've had a couple with some guys out here from like the Minnesota scene that have been really good. The I think the match with Matt Tremont and I from Time Bomb is going to be on IWTV soon enough, and that was real fun.
I'm gonna have to
Uh,
watch.
it was so crazy for me be wrestling um to be wrestling Matt Tremont in a bar in Fargo, North Dakota. I was like, man, this is my life. This is something I never thought was gonna ever happen.
Right, right. How is it wrestling in a bar? Um,
It's
I
crazy.
That was no ring, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought that's the one I was thinking of. I can't imagine like
I
crazy.
I the first time bomb, I thought to myself like, okay, this will be really fun. We'll do it. It'll be cool, and then we'll never do it again. And I was like, oh, this no ring stuff's kind of different, kind
Yeah.
of kind of interesting. Um, and then it just kind of took off. It was so successful, and now it's just I don't treat it any differently than like having a ring. We just have a little different parameters. I still take pretty much the same bumps. I
Yeah, just different boundaries, which is like none, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You just don't.
Yeah.
They just don't want you to bleed in the ice bin.
Yes, I used to be a bartender. Don't
Yep.
bleed
Just
out, Ben.
don't.
Please get any glass in there
Yeah.
because you have to dump the whole damn thing out.
How did I get the name Wizard King? I got that from an anime show called Black Clover because I'm a giant fucking nerd and I just stole it.
Just stole it.
The we took a road trip to a VOW show, and Diff kept giving me shit because I was watching it the whole way down, and he's like, man, they really keep fucking hyping up this whole Wizard King bullshit. I was like, yeah, and one day I'm gonna be the Wizard King. And then I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna run with it.
Yeah.
How was DTU? I personally liked DTU. They treated me very well. Hey, there's a great picture of Arrow Boy and I.
Oh yes.
They treated me great. Fans were super cool. I got to have a bunch of really fun matches. Being down there with G Raver was awesome, and getting to know Arrow Boy a lot better and his son was really cool. We went out and saw a bunch of sites while we were down there, and GTU took really good care of us. Um, it made me really enjoy Mexico. I know some people don't have the best feelings on it afterwards, but for me it was incredible, and I really did enjoy it.
That's awesome.
And I hope to one day go back. That was this whole time that this epidemic has been going on. Um, oh God. I've I've thought about maybe I should just go down to DTU and I should just be there for a month. I should just say fuck it, and then I'm like, wait, then I'll get stuck in Mexico and I'll never be able to come home.
No, we don't want that. Can you defend your ICW title anywhere that you go, or
Yeah,
does it have to be it's
no,
a
just
international?
no, just doesn't care. I defended it down there for DTU,
That's what
and
I thought it was a I get that's international, right? Considered
yep, it
or
is. It is now.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I made sure to bring it with because ICW was a big reason as to why I got down there. I mean, it was for the GTU and GCW event, but I mean, if it wasn't for ICW, I wouldn't have the recognition to get into GCW in the first place. So
Sure.
it so having my home company's championship.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if it's on my end.
Get disconnected there for a
Oh,
second.
there we go. Yay! There we go. We're back.
Okay. Uh, any promotions you wouldn't work for? Um, I don't think so. I've pretty much worked everywhere. Um, yeah,
That's
I've
good.
I've I've stayed pretty busy and worked pretty much everywhere. I'm sure there's obvious ones that I should say, but I not that I can think of.
So, what are your upcoming after the whole Corona apocalypse is over? Uh, what are your plans? Do you have anything? I want to say, from May on, maybe we'll be safe by May.
The biggest thing would be
coronavirus.
the Time Bomb show, May 29th in Fargo. Hopefully that happens.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if it did,
Yeah.
and hopefully it's all blown over by then.
Gotcha. Have you ever done any wrestling in Europe?
No,
Coronavirus.
Been there? Do you want to go there someday? I mean, I
I
don't
would
know
like to.
if they are on the deathmatch scene, but I think you could fit right in with, their style of wrestling there.
I would really like to. I have there's a couple of people from here that have gone to the UK from Minnesota, and they love it over there. They have a good time, and they go for like a month at a time. They they enjoy it, and they speak super highly of it. So
Also,
one day it would be nice, but
I know some people down there, so if you ever, need me to put a good word in, I could throw a good word in for you, of course.
perfect.
Um, a good friend of mine, Nick Hughes, he's on here. He's probably asleep right now, I would think, but he'll watch it. But I would definitely look him up if you ever need any kind of guidance in the wrestling, outside of wrestlers that uh,
Right,
in that area.
Neil. I'm
Neil,
not losing the belt to you. Not a chance.
Neil, that's some pretty big shoes to fill.
Thoughts on Ian Rotten? I personally can't say anything bad about Ian. He's been honest with me. He's been straightforward with me, and he has never done anything that I haven't expected him to do in regards to when I go to IWA. Ian, he's always been 100% real, and I've, or at least with me.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people have qualms with Ian, and that's on them. But
definitely a thing.
he has been good enough to me.
Yeah.
Um, so I have nothing bad to say about Ian.
Fair enough. Same here. I have nothing bad to say about Ian either. He puts on a hell of a show, and I feel like people are crazy if they don't at least experience IWA a couple times in their career.
Right,
You know?
right, and I think it's definitely good for any wrestler. It's a big thing. It's been around for so long. He definitely makes, you know, people would argue questionable business decisions sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's the nature of wrestling.
Yeah.
It's not always a for sure thing. You know, we don't always know the money we're gonna pull in, and
Hmm.
some of us have more working capital than others. But
Absolutely.
it is what it is, and I don't have anything bad to say.
Awesome. Awesome.
Will you be at TOS? I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see if there even is a TOS at this point. With with the way the world is going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, we'll give it a few little bit, and we're hitting that hour um that hour on the hour here. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So for those who want to get in contact with you to book you, or um, any dumbass that doesn't know about you yet, can you tell everybody your social media, where to find you?
Real real easy at Orin Veidt on Twitter and Instagram. I don't use my Orin Veidt Facebook page like I should. I really should, but I don't. Um, on Facebook, it's just my real name. Um, Otherwise, just Twitter and Instagram at Orin Veidt. Easiest way, just DM me there if you want to book me, or if you want to say anything nice. I'll probably reply.
Probably.
More than likely.
Oh yeah, yeah. And since the world's going crazy, and all my beautiful wrestling people are not wrestling like they should be, where can people find your merch? Which is awesome, by the way.
You just gotta message me for it. I have a link to a shop on my Twitter, and I think maybe my Instagram too. That has a lot of my older merch, but I do have the Death Otter shirts that I just ship out personally.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
You
that's a
get
shirt
because I love
made by my good friend who really killed it. I said, "Hey man, can you make me as an otter?" And with maybe holding the light tube, and that was the extent of like the creative direction that I gave him, and he killed it.
That's awesome. I love that shirt. I might have to hit you up for one because that's really cool. Let's see. We already talked about where we can see you. I don't know if I have any more questions at the moment.
Well, I definitely will look through the comments and stuff, and we'll send out some replies to them after the fact too.
Yeah, that sounds good. And we'll definitely have to do this again, maybe in several months.
Yeah.
Our the
Oh,
production
now the
here.
comments start working.
Of course. Well, there you go. If you feel like unless you need to go, if you want to answer some of those, go for it. Oh, there.
Well, I'm just gonna
Neil.
answer. I'm gonna answer Neil. I just picked up MLB 20, and I'm gonna probably be busy on that for quite a while. So that's the video game that I will be playing in this downtime.
Got to fill
But
in
yeah,
that.
I will definitely look back on the comments and send replies to the things that didn't get answered.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to stop by and hang out with us for the Death Hour.
Of course, of
Uh,
course. Thank you for having me.
no problem. Keep up all the awesome work. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
I will do my best.
Hopefully, we need to survive Corona apocalypse. I swear. Yes. Keep everything crossed.
Yes,
Alrighty. Well, I appreciate your time and have a good night.
absolutely. You too.
Thanks. Bye,
Yep.
guys.
This is your favorite Slav, Alex Nabiev, and you're watching the Deathmatch War. Eat my...